Hey friends, it's Curtis Robinson here, and today I'm going to walk you guys through a little bit about Skyrim. So if you've never played this game, this is pretty much the industry standard role-playing game where you can use swords and bows as well as armor for combat warrior kind of characters, as well as spells and other kinds of crafting and so forth for the magic style characters. And you can build these characters any way that you want. So let's just get started. We're going to start a brand new game, and there's a little introduction. The introduction is kind of long, but just bear with me. I'm going to kind of walk you through a few things while it's going on. First of all, I haven't found really a better role-playing game that is set in this setting that offers as much as Skyrim does. Now, there is one major complaint. Skyrim is a one-player role-playing game, so it's not like you can get online with your buddies. If you do want to do that, you have to go to Elder Scrolls Online, and you can do the multiplayer. It's not the same. I don't think it's nearly as good. A lot of people love it. But this is the game if you are a story mode, storyline kind of a person. So as you can see here, the first thing is if you're using a laptop, you have to get used to the controls. It's the WASD kind of style. Anyways, I am using a laptop, but I also have a PlayStation 4 controller that I use to maneuver around. I like it better. By the way, this game is on PlayStation, so you can play it on PlayStation. And of course, if you're a computer guy like myself and you want to use a PlayStation controller, just because it makes it a little bit more comfortable, it's not easier. You can actually do more on the keyboard, but really it is good. So anyways, as you kind of look around, you'll see that the graphics are pretty good. This is the anniversary edition or the special edition. It's got some downloaded content, and it's really pretty cool. So I'll kind of give you a little background that you might find interesting. So this is Ralof. Ralof is he is what I would consider a Norseman. So in the game, they talk about the Nords. So the Nords basically are the people that are kind of the rebels. The guy in the armor here, the leather armor that I'm kind of focusing in on, he's with the Empire. He's an Imperial. So they're kind of the people that are controlling everything. And of course, there are different guys like this guy. I think he's probably Red Guard. And of course, that is the king. So you'll hear a little bit more about this guy throughout the game. So you hear him talking about elves and so forth. You can be any number of different races. We're going to get into that in a minute during the character creation. But anyways, I thought it would be pretty fun to kind of walk you through this thing from beginning to end. And when I say to end, the game doesn't really end. There's just a ton of content. You could be on this game for months and never do all of the missions, side quests, and so forth. I've done a number of quests, and I can tell you that with the various levels of difficulty that you get to select, and you can select or unselect that difficulty level at any time, this game can really be a lot of fun. I will say also that with a little bit of pride, I only play on Legendary. Legendary is the most difficult level. It is the way that I play. I've played this game so much that I have to have a real challenge or it just gets to be boring. So again, it's supposed to be tough. I like that it's tough, and that's the way I play it. I recommend you start off on Novice. One of the basic levels are better. Move up to Expert, and then move up to Legendary. Alright. Ulfric is the king, the Jarl. Yeah. Ralof is one of the good guys.
No, I'm not a rebel. You can't do this. Ralof, I will. Yeah. Ralof is the king, the Jarl. Yeah. Ralof is one of the good guys. No, I'm not a rebel. You can't do this. Ralof is one of the good guys. No, I'm not a rebel. You can't do this. Ralof is one of the good guys. No, I'm not a rebel. You can't do this. Ralof is one of the good guys. No, I'm not a rebel. You can't do this. Ralof is one of the good guys. No, I'm not a rebel. You can't do this. Ralof is one of the good guys. No, I'm not a rebel. You can't do this. Ralof is one of the good guys. No, I'm not a rebel. You can't do this. Ralof is one of the good guys. No, I'm not a rebel. You can't do this. Ralof is one of the good guys. No, I'm not a rebel. You can't do this. Ralof is one of the good guys. No, I'm not a rebel. You can't do this. Ralof is one of the good guys. No, I'm not a rebel. You can't do this. Ralof is one of the good guys. No, I'm not a rebel. You can't do this. Ralof is one
Oh, they're gonna take. You can't run away. I think they got him. Oh, yep. So this is where you get to make your character. All right. Who are you? All right. So again, we get to decide what we're gonna be. I'll tell you guys right now that I'm not a big fan of the Argonians. So if you want to be Lizard Dude, great. The Britons are okay. If you notice, they have some magic resistance and they can absorb spell power, which that's kind of good, not my favorite. The Dark Elves are probably my favorite, and the reason why is they're resistant to fire, and there's a lot of things that are going to do fire damage. They can also do some other pretty cool things, like they have Fire Cloak. They call it Ancestor's Wrath, but it's it basically means you can surround yourself in fire, and anybody gets close to you takes damage. The High Elves are the ones that are best for wizard class. You want to be a mage, a wizard, a spellcaster, this is the one. They can regen magicka once a day. They also have some innate magical talent, which is pretty good. Imperials are okay. Again, they got a voice ability that can calm the enemy, which is pretty cool if you're getting your butt kicked. Doesn't always work on everybody. The Khajiit are feline. They are pretty good as rogues. So they can sneak around anybody can sneak, by the way. But they start off with a capability for sneaking. And then, of course, they also have some unarmed claw attacks, which is real situational. Some people like kind of tinkering around with the odd or the unusual. So if you take this guy and you use his unarmed attacks, and then you get him certain special capabilities in the heavy armor tree, he can actually punch with gauntlets and do a crap ton of damage. But it doesn't work good on everything. All right, the Nords are basically the guys. They're resistant to cold, so a lot of things breathe ice and snow on you. This is the Northlands, by the way, so that's pretty good. Battle cry, it basically makes the enemy flee before you so you can escape. And then this isn't my second favorite. So if Dark Elves are my favorite, Orcs are my favorite. My second favorite. Heavy armor, and they've got this Berserker Rage. They take half damage and they do double damage when they're in the Berserker Rage. You can do that once per day. Now the Red Guards, if you're going to be a swordsman, this is the one. Anybody that's going to do a lot of hack and slash, the Red Guard can do that adrenaline rush. They also have some poison resistance, which is kind of cool, but the bottom line is I picked this guy for anybody that wants to be a swordsman. And lastly, the Wood Elves. They got some resistances to poison and disease. They can command an animal to fight for them, blah, 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 blah. Who really cares? They are great archers. So again, if you want to be an archer character, this is the guy. So we got about 5 minutes left. I'm not going to get all the way through this, but I kind of wanted to walk you through kind of the basics. I'm going to pause right here. Now that we've got through the basic storyline, you have to kind of think about what weapon do you want to use, what spells do you want to use, if any, and then ultimately, are you going to be heavy armor or light armor? These are some things to really consider. You're going to go through and build the body, the head, the face, the eyes, the brow, the mouth, and the hair. You can do all of that. I'm not going to really waste your time going through all of the character creation. So I'm going to go build a guy and I'm going to come back. Let's hold on for a minute. By the way, if you like Skyrim and you like working with me, watching my videos, how about subscribe and then click that little bell. That will give you notifications, and I'll walk you through how to play this game. Now, if you follow the titles, I'm going to try to put in the titles what's going on so that you kind of get a feel for what we're trying to do. Like if there's some exceptional good loot, I'll try to put that in the title. Or if you want to just have some enjoyable gameplay, that'll be in the title. Anyways, just enjoy, and I will be back with you momentarily.